A smuggler with 18 illegal immigrants in his van is trying to run from police. What's this about? Oh, there's so many people they couldn't even close the doors.
Your door 20 is like 20 plus bodies on the road.
That's crazy. So this chase starts when police realize a van is speeding through a residential neighborhood with the doors open, and you can see it right here. This is crazy. Look at that. The side doors of the van are open and the trunk is open. Here, police are going after these guys, but they're not stopping. Look at that, blowing through a stop sign at night? That's dangerous. These guys are all over the road. Another stop sign. What are they going to do? Oh, there they go. And this is the moment where they finally stop. Now, before we look at what's about to happen, understand there are 19 people in this vehicle. So the vehicle stops and everyone just makes a break for it. And there's another trooper right here pulling up. There's a trooper right here who's trying to stop the car so nobody gets injured. It's incredibly frightening.
Al piso! Al piso! Hey! Ven, hey! Al piso! Señor! Ven para acá! Hey! Get this guy! Go in the back, in the back, in the back, in the back! Get him, get him, get him!
This is incredibly dangerous for law enforcement because you've got all of these people who just committed a crime. They're hanging out with criminals and gang members. They could be armed, and this is just absolute mayhem. These people are all over the street.
Just watch the back. Just let them out. Al piso.
Okay, they're apprehending this guy right here.
Al piso, bien. Siéntate hasta abajo. Hasta abajo, dame la mano. Dame la mano. Estoy diciendo bien.
Checking them for weapons.
Las cintas y los zapatos, por favor.
Wow, they got so many people. But 18 people's 5 less than the amount of folks hidden in this trailer right here that Texas police are chasing. Look at this thing. It's just driving. It's pulling off the road. You already know that's suspicious when something like this goes and does that. Look at him making a break for it. Police are not giving up. They are going after this guy.
Hey boy, 1404 Laredo.
Oh, the driver bailed out. Made a break for it. Boy, he really cares about the people he's bringing into America illegally, that's for sure.
On the middle. Okay. Hey, there's more people underneath the boards. Huh? There's more people underneath. Yeah, dude,
oh, so there are people
right
hidden inside.
You can hear knocking.
The actual trailer bed.
Let me get my crowbar, dude.
They're rescuing these people. That is so frightening. These are like little cells down by the exhaust pipes or whatever equipment is running underneath here. This is incredibly dangerous. They have to get these people out before something bad happens to them. It's very frightening. Got the jaws of life right there. They've got to undo all of the equipment here. And of course, there are more people hidden underneath this John Deere tractor right here. Now, even though the folks that came in are not as bad as the smuggler, they've still got to be deported. You can't let people successfully enter the country illegally, go about making their way through it, maybe getting to a sanctuary city or something like New York, because that just benefits criminals like that guy that abandoned these people after risking their lives and ran off into the bushes. All of this empowers a criminal underworld.
I think I see somebody in the middle, on the far, in the front.
No me siento ahí. A ver, venga.
That is insane. So the title of this video says 23 people were smuggled inside, but somebody on the radio just said 26 people, so I don't know if there were just so many folks here, somebody got double counted. But as you're about to see, these smugglers have no problem risking the lives of their quote-unquote clients because they don't even care about their own lives. Watch this. Here we have a pursuit of this black Dodge Charger right here.
Here we go, switching over.
Look at him, he is swerving. He's trying to get around this truck right here. Look, oh, into oncoming traffic. Oh, that's so frightening. And again, officers have to risk their lives and their safety going after this maniac. Look at that, during the middle of the day, running a red light. That could have been an accident right there. Here's somebody who's going to work. They've got their truck full of stuff. They're just living their life. And by having an open border, we allow criminal activity like this to profit on the streets of our own country. It's sad. Oh, look at him. He's in the oncoming lane. Doesn't even care. Oh, that is so frightening. Oh, my goodness. Whoa! He just spun out. Here's another pit maneuver. The first one failed, apparently.
Get out of the ground! Get out of the ground! Get out of the ground!
Oh, that is frightening.
Driver?
Look at that. So that car was full of passengers who paid for this service and are probably going to owe a debt to these smugglers if this were successful. They care absolutely nothing about these people.
Sola ahí, sentada. Siéntese ahí, al suelo, hasta abajo. Usted también, man, súbase. Levántese.
1, 2, 3,
Siéntese ahí
4,
también contra el
5
carro.
people in that car. Wow. So look at this. We've got 2 people here who were the actual smugglers. This guy was charged with evading arrest. His partner over here resisting, evading. This guy, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Wow. These are not nice people. And you know something? These guys right here that are profiting from this, that live in America, they're the same people out there telling you that the border should be wide open. These are the same people out there telling you that Trump's doing the wrong thing by locking up these criminals and deporting them. No, these guys are doing the wrong thing. But as you're about to see, some of these vehicles do get through, and some of the people they bring into the country are not nice people either.
This is a Fox News alert riding along with ICE agents during a week-long operation in Texas as they arrest hundreds. And they take some of the most dangerous criminal migrants off the streets, including a convicted murderer.
He was involved in a lot of organized crime in Colombia.
ICE officers pull up and arrest this illegal migrant who, according to ICE, is from Colombia. He was caught by Border Patrol last year, then released under the Biden administration's catch and release policies.
What a great guy.
And watch this, a twice deported illegal migrant from Mexico. He tried to flee in his car, then make a run for it before he was captured and eventually arrested.
So we just saw a couple of these car chases. We know how dangerous those are for the general public. These people, they've already been deported, and this guy on the ground's case twice, and everything they're doing in America is just making the country more dangerous because their goal is not to come here and live the American dream. No, it is to commit and engage in criminal activity.
According to ICE, he has multiple convictions in the U.S., including arson, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and DWI.
This is a week-long operation where we really flood the zone with additional resources from all these agencies and come together to try and make the biggest impact and get as many of these folks off the streets as we possibly can.
422 criminals.
And more than 200 of the illegal migrants arrested during this operation had final orders of removal, including this 36-year-old criminal migrant from El Salvador. ICE is speeding up that removal process, so this is new. Fox got an exclusive.
So before we get into the new developments here, she said something very interesting. She said that over 200 of these 422 people had final orders of removal, which means that when ICE went to pick these people up, they got folks who had a dangerous criminal past, a final order of removal, and they found other individuals with them. Those are collateral arrests. And we keep hearing in America about how these collateral arrests are awful and how people with no criminal past are being swept off the streets for no reason. Well, they're being caught in the company of the people in this video. If that guy who's been deported a couple of times and has that long rap sheet, if he's your roommate and you guys have all the same tattoos. What are you doing hanging out with him? Are you in cahoots with that person? These are questions that ICE agents have to ask, and we all know bad company corrupts good morals. So what are you doing hanging out with these people?
Look at 80 detainees boarding this plane to the El Paso hub. So instead of bringing them to detention centers, taking up that limited space, illegal migrants with final orders of removal, they are being transferred to these hub locations immediately so that they could be quickly deported to their home countries.
We can arrest the individual this morning, process him this afternoon, and have him on a removal flight this evening, same day, saving taxpayer cost and just to make it a more efficient and expedited process to get these folks out of the country.
Oh, you know who's going to have a problem with that? Every single activist in this country, because they're going to say that these people who have a final order of removal are getting deported so quickly that they don't get to have their due process. Well, they've already had their due process, and that process has concluded with a final order of removal, and now they're having to leave America. But all of this successful immigration-related enforcement, that's drawn the ire of some members of the Democrat Party who are very powerful and might be calling for their followers to stand up and try to resist en masse over the next few months. And the remarks you're about to hear are made in the context of a bunch of politicians, including the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, recently getting arrested.
If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem.
You can address that comment. That's the way we rolled it. Also want to know how many people are in this specific facility? What are they accused of? Who's there?
So currently at the Delaney Hall facility is 152 detainees. 75% of them are convicted of a crime or pending criminal charges. These aren't the people you want in your neighborhoods. These are the people that are the worst of the worst that ICE are out there arresting, putting their lives on the line every day.
So we had this protest at this ICE facility, and as you're about to see, there have been further protests from activists trying to get this New Jersey facility that houses all of these gang members shut down. But as you just heard, these are not nice people. These are not women and children. These are bad guys, and even if they have no prior criminal history, they're still in the country without permission, and they were still apprehended in relation to other criminal activity.
Gabi Acevedo live from Delaney Hall with what's happening there behind you, Gabi.
Non-stop protests.
Now, people at this rally, including faith leaders from different religious denominations, have been demanding more information from the Department of Homeland Security on how many people are inside this facility and who are the ones who are locked up. Faith leaders blocking the entrance to a federal detention center for migrants in Newark, sending a message.
We will continue to show up. We will continue to apply pressure. Delaney Hall refuses to comply with the most basic standards of safety and health.
At least 50 clergy members wearing green armbands march on the...
Okay, so the first thing you've got to understand is that people were given a tour of this facility after these lawmakers were arrested, and this place is spotless. It's nicer than most jails in America, and the people being held here, as long as they're not on a terror watch list or they're not so dangerous that the country doesn't feel that they could be safely released, are eligible to take the president up on his new offer of a $1,000 bonus to deport yourself and leave the country automatically. These folks that are in this place, they don't even have to be there. They can leave whenever they want, most of them.
Avenue to the gates of Delaney Hall, joined by pro-migrant activists calling for the Department of Homeland Security to shut down the site.
Think of all the names of the people who have been disappeared from your communities.
Because we're in crisis, right? The country itself has been with an immigration narrative that is very criminalizing.
Video shows the commotion last Friday at the same venue where the Newark mayor was
That's the Newark mayor getting arrested.
Allegedly trespassing. After the incident, interim U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, Alina Habba, took to social media to denounce Mayor Baraka and others.
It is the enactment of a police state here in New Jersey.
Today, at one point, the Delaney Hall private security guards came outside asking to meet with organizers looking to clear the area.
We're thinking that there are already hundreds of people in here who we don't know anything about.
These people are so worked up about absolutely nothing, and the question that I have for them is, why aren't they at a U.S. prison for their own fellow countrymen to get better conditions in jails and in prisons throughout this country. But, oh, they'll show up for the people who aren't even supposed to be here.
Faith in Action leaders are calling on the Department of Homeland Security to release the identities of the people detained in the
Delaney Hall. He's calling.
To allow a congressional delegation to complete an oversight visit and to permit the city of Newark to conduct all necessary inspections.
No se sabe lo que va a pasar con ellos, pero le están levantando.
Saben su estatus ahora mismo y qué va a pasar con ustedes. This man rallying outside of Delaney Hall says he was able to connect with a friend who he claims is being held at the detention center. The man detained, who was Dominican, says he has a domestic violence case on his record, but denied any suggestion he is an MS-13 gang member.
Okay, so the evidence we have that good people are in this facility and that it's unjust is a guy who's been convicted of domestic violence and is in the country illegally, who's in this place. I mean, what's the problem here? Why are faith leaders out here advertising, or advocating rather, for criminals? They are advertising for these criminals. They're telling criminals that if they sneak into America in a van with 17 other people driven by a smuggler and they wind up in jail, that activists will show up to try and rescue them and break them out of jail. What do you think about that? Are activists the problem in the war on illegal immigration right now? Are they doing more harm than good for our country? And why aren't they advocating for Americans who might be in a substandard prison somewhere? We know those exist in this country. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.